2007. And in terms of U.S. imports, it has grown from 100 billion in 1995 to over 200 billion in 2007. And the share of the U.S. imports of automobiles share of total U.S. merchandise import fell from 14% to 11% during the same period. And Korea's share grew rapidly from less than 2% in 1995 to around 5% in recent year. So the U.S. trade balance in automotive sector recorded around 50 billion deficit. It is equivalent to around 31% of the total U.S. trade deficit in 1995, and the share, the ratio has fallen to around 14% in 2007. So even though the absolute amount amount of trade deficit from U.S. automotive trade, but its share from total U.S. trade deficit has decreased. So the overall, in terms of overall performance of U.S. trade in automotive sector has somewhat stabilized since 2007. 2003 or so. Its performance has somewhat stabilized, I believe. And the U.S. domestic market, in terms of number of units, is around 17 million automobiles in 2006. Among them, around 8 million is cars, and around 9 million might be light trucks. That's the overall picture. And domestic production is around 11 million units. So the difference around 5.7 million units be imported automobiles. That's overall picture. And top 5 import source of U.S. imports of passenger cars can be explained by Canada around 30%, also Japan around 30%, and Mexico around 15%, and so on. And Korea explained around 6% of U.S. total import of automobiles in 2006. And overall trend, Germany's and Korea's share increasing, and recently Canada's share is decreasing. And in terms of U.S. export market, major market is Canada, and its share is around 45%, Germany around 13%, and so on. And Canada has a major share for U.S. exports of automobiles, but the share is decreasing. And Germany's share is increasing. That's the two contrasting trend. And for Korea-U.S. free trade agreement on automotive sector, the major negotiation result might be the abolition of tariff barriers. Currently, Korea imports 8% for passenger cars and most of parts and accessories, and also U.S. imports 2.5% tariff barriers for most of passenger cars and its parts and accessories. And for trucks, Korea has 10% tariff barriers, and U.S. has 25% tariff barriers. And those tariff barriers will be abolished as soon as the FTA agreement is as soon as the FTA agreement is enforced. But for U.S. side, there might be some delayed implementation. For example, passenger cars with spark ignition internal combustion engine, so-called gasoline engine, which has cylinder capacity greater than 3,000 cc, and also passenger cars with compression ignition internal combustion engine, they might be implemented 3 years for tape elimination. And for trucks, as I mentioned, it is 25% tape areas in US side. That will be abolished during 10 years at the same rate after the implementation enter into the free trade agreement enter into force. And in Korean side, there might be other improvement in domestic regulations, such as domestic taxes in Korean side might be simplified, mostly beneficial. Those changes might be mostly beneficial for the passenger cars with large engine size, and there also be some exemption of emission regulations for small scale manufacturers or exporters in Korean market, which is less than 10,000 units of automobiles in a year. Those of emission control regulation might not be applied for those small-scale manufacturers. So I believe most of the current trade concerns from U.S. side in automobile sector will be solved as soon as the FTA agreement will be enter into force. So those of free trade agreement effect might be have some effect on automotive trade between Korea and the U.S. side. So I tried to make some calculation through standard GTAP model with version 6 based on 2001 trade data set. If I add some explanation, the GTAP model is multi-region or multi-country, which has 87 individual countries or regional economies, and also it has 57 classified subsectors, and basically it is computable general equilibrium model, so we can calculate some effect from free trade agreement between the two countries. So for the simplification of our analysis, the model was consolidated into 8 countries or regions, including Korea and U.S. as a separate country, and I also aggregate 8 sectors of commodities or industries by at the same time identifying the automotive sector as a single industrial sector in the model. And for the first base simulation, I tried to abolish the tariff barriers in both countries, which were calculated in Korea as 7.9% in 2001, what the current GTAP model has based on, and in the U.S. side, 2.4% tariff barriers. The tariff barriers between the two countries'